Hey guys, it's Frank here. That kid's cute. It's a cute kid. Traffic is insane. You know, I don't know if this is a new thing or if it always gets this busy in the mountains on the weekend. Because normally when I go riding in the mountains, I go early in the morning. But early in the morning is a busy time when you have a baby. Anyway, so the point of all that is I almost never have free time in the morning. See, look at, that's why, you know, people make fun of me for passing on top of solid yellow, but you can tell I can fit between. It doesn't, you know, look at this car. Is he gonna have to move over? No. Oh look, I'm still passing on double solid yellow. Did I affect that car in any way, shape, or form? No. And this traffic is just stupid, man. Like, the whole point to go in the mountains is to get away from the city and all the traffic, right? That's the point. Go cruising in the mountains, nice, beautiful, relaxing. Bumper to bumper traffic and overheating bike is not exactly... Okay, let's pretend I'm a scooter and go along the side with the other scooters, which will last for a whole 20 feet, and then we get stuck behind a bus. Yay! I've actually got a few good topics, but see the car in front of us here, we have a child who's in the back seat but no seatbelt, and he's like standing up, she's standing up, and she's like leaning forward talking to her parents. I figured out, like, that is not, it's like so the norm here. It's like beyond the norm. It's like I don't think I've ever seen a child over the age of like 1 year old in a baby seat or any type of seat. The law is something like under 8 years old, children need to have either be in a baby seat or a booster seat. And the reason for a booster seat is, even if a child's like 7 years old, which doesn't seem that small, the seatbelt is designed for an adult. So it could, like, the chest part isn't across their chest, it might be across their neck or something. So if in a case of an accident, the seatbelt could very easily like break their neck or cut their neck open. So you need a booster seat to make them higher in relation to the seatbelt, so that it treats them more as it was designed to do, as if they were a taller person like an adult. Stick with this. I'm debating whether or not I should just turn around, but I'll stick with this just to see how far this traffic goes. This is the Kimco Quanon. It's the same bike that crashed on the corner in one of my other videos. That video now has like 74,000 views. He doesn't, you know, he passes in the oncoming lane, which is what I'm doing too, but he should really, like, it's almost like he's playing chicken with the cars when he does it. Like, when I do it, I'm like a centimeter away from these cars on the right. But when he does it, he kind of just goes in the oncoming lane and then just stays there. Gear am I in? Jeez. I tried to shift up 3 times there and it didn't do anything. I'm like, and then for a second I'm like, what, am I in top gear? That's not really possible at that speed. So yeah, I've got a few topics that I want to do. I wrote them down on a piece of paper, and I'm carrying the papers in my fanny pack. I don't think I really needed to write them down. It's only three ideas, you know, 3 good ideas, and the rest will just be normal vlogs. And but I wrote them down nonetheless. Oh man. One of the videos that I want to do is like there's a specific road up ahead And it's not this road, which is, it's not the main road. It's not this road. It's kind of like a little offshoot, and it's a dead-end road. It's not very long, but it's really curvy, and it's straight up the side of a mountain, and then it gets to a park where it kind of ends, and you can pay money to get into the park, but I don't do that because I'm poor. So I just ride up to the park, and then I turn around and ride back down. Some guys, they ride up, ride down, ride up, ride down, because it's a really nice road, and it was recently repaved. So my plan today was to go to that road and race up and down it, but with this level of traffic, I'm guessing even that road would have a good traffic on it. All these cars parked along the side here, or there's a walking path just up ahead. It's a really nice one, actually. It's a walking path it's on both sides of the road, and then they built a little bridge just for the walking path, so you can start on the right-hand side here, and then it takes you to an abandoned train tunnel, and then they refurbished it so you can walk through the train tunnel, which is kind of cool. There's water running along the side in the train tunnel. They've even like restored the tracks on the left side, and then there's a path in the middle, so you got train tracks on one side and running water on the other, and it's pitch black because it's a train tunnel, so it's nice and cool, as in cold. That's the beginning of this is the road tunnel, and there's a train tunnel just over here that you can't see, and you can walk through that train tunnel. One sec, I have to make a lot of noise. Okay, so then once you walk through the train tunnel, you can get to this other side here, and then there's you go across this side, and there's like some up this mountain, and then there's a bunch of walking paths up here that are really nice. I came here with my wife a little while ago, and we were sitting in that pagoda. I think it's called a pagoda. I always forget. I have other videos where I talk about them, and I forget in those videos too, and someone tells me, and I'm like, oh, that's what it's called, and then I forget again. Anyways, I think it's called a pagoda. And we were sitting in a pagoda over there, and then we were like taking pictures of each other and stuff, and then my wife had the camera, and then we went back to the car, and the car was like far away, like it's like a good mile away from that pagoda, down some walking paths and stuff. So we get back to the car, and I realize, oh, I don't have my camera on me. I'm patting myself down. I'm like, oh, do you have it on you? And she gives me this look of like fear, and she left it in the pagoda. She was taking some pictures. She put it down for a minute, and then she never picked it up again. So we got in the car, and we drove back to the pagoda, and there was a family sitting in it, and they recognized us as soon as we pulled up because they had already looked through they picked up the camera and looked through the pictures on it. So when we pulled up, they recognized us as the owners, and they gave it back to us. So that was nice. Okay, well, traffic's a bit better, right? It's not too bad. Did anybody else say that? Too? You know, it's since I started vlogging and since I started like watching my own videos that I realized I have different, you know, like verbal I forget that word. Intricities? I don't know, something like that. Verbal habits that I never noticed I had. You know, like there's certain things that I say that as far as I know, no one else does say. Not many. Like tutu is definitely a big one. You know. Instead of saying very, very, I say tutu, T-O-O, and a few other things. And speaking of habits, riding with one hand is a habit I have. Even in, like, you know, mountain roads with corners. Even when overtaking. I just, if I'm not riding fast, then it's difficult for me to keep both. As soon as I put both hands on, I just start going like quicker and quicker and quicker. So the only way, you know, it's like, the only way I know how to like keep my speed down is by taking one hand off. So it's definitely a very bad habit, and it's a stupid thing to do, and don't copy me. You know, because there's many situations where you could unexpectedly need both hands, quite obviously. It's not like a car. Cars, the car's pretty easy to drive with one hand. There's no problems. But yeah, if there was like I don't know, like a bump in the road I didn't notice, or actually you wouldn't even really need you wouldn't really need both hands for a bump in the road, because technically what you want to do when you go over a bump is to loosen up on the handlebars, and there's not much, you don't get much looser than only having one hand on. Yeah, I'm thinking, is that true? It's partially true. Partially true. But probably not really. Because if you hit a bump, you'd probably overcompensate, and then you probably get a wobble, because you'd be overcompensating on one half of the bar and not the other. So let's take a look here. I've never ever even been here. So you get a lot of these things in Taiwan, and I've never seen stuff like this in restaurants. That's good. I've never seen stuff like this in restaurants. What did I want to say? I wanted to say Canada. I've never seen stuff like this in Canada, where you get like a restaurant up in the mountains, and this restaurant owns like all this land. So you got the restaurant, and then you have this lake, and then you have a walking path that family's going along there. So it's all kind of combined. And what normally happens is when you get in, they'll charge you some money as soon as you like pull into the driveway. They'll have someone standing in the parking lot collecting money off of people. And the reason being is some people will just go there and not buy anything, and then they'll just hang out in the park area or something, because it's a nice, well-maintained park. So they charge you something when you get there, but they deduct that fee from whatever food you buy. So it's like a $5 cover charge, but they give you a coupon for $5 off whatever you order. So it's just to prove that you're there to eat or drink, and not just play in their park. Yep. I miss the monkey. There used to be a monkey right here. Right where that pink thing is. That used to be a monkey cage. And I used to, like, almost every time I came up here, I would just stop and talk with the monkey.